guys. Welcome to another episode of the No Fun League. There's been a hiatus because I was traveling and then I got very sick. We can get into story time really quickly because I forgot to tell you this a
Oh,
second
please
ago.
do. Please do.
I Today was a first day
I'm
where
Jonah, by the way. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonah.
I'm so sorry. I
No,
feel
you're
like
good. That's Noah
yeah, yeah,
Kapako. I'm
yeah.
Jonah Wooten. How are
There
you?
we go.
You've seen me before. Okay, good.
But what's it called? So I've been sick like the last 4 days since like Monday. I had a panic attack at Penn Station in New York on Monday. Great time.
Oh my God.
But
Did not know about that.
today's the first day that I decided to leave the house because went to go get something for my mom. I realized that I locked myself out of the house 30 seconds after I left. So then for about 4 hours, I was just locked out of my house. And when I got back in, I literally came to my room and slept for 3 hours.
As you probably should have after
I
something like
was
that.
exhausted, but yeah, that was my day today. It was quite entertaining. Me and my sister were trying to figure out ways to get into the house. A cop pulled someone over right in front of my house. I asked him, I'm like, "Is there any way that you can get me into my house?" And they're like, "No, like legally, they can't like break into your own house for you."
Yeah, you had to call the locksmith.
Yeah, yeah. And
Or
then
just break into your own house. I
I
mean,
tried. I tried my best today. I tried to
I've had
kick.
to do that. I've had to go around the back
Yep.
to the backyard and go
So
through the back window because I can
here's the
access it.
thing. Usually that's our strategy, but the key to get into the backyard is in the house now. So
So
that
you gotta
kind of
like put it under the mat or something. I don't know. Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
for emergencies.
Something has to we gotta come up with a better strategy. Usually this doesn't happen. I usually leave the door open. But anyways, we're recording this a week 8 days after the schedule came out for the 2024-2025
It was a Wednesday. I
NFL
believe was
season.
it last week? Wednesday?
Yeah, it was last Wednesday because we were gonna do it Thursday, and then I was at the Phillies game. Then we were gonna do it Friday, and then I was
Yeah,
traveling.
there was a whole. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We're getting it up. We're getting it done now. That's what it matters, man. We're all good.
but yeah. So just quick overview for the
So go Phils,
Giants.
by the way.
Oh,
Just can we
so
start? Can we just like
one
really quick?
hundred percent. You have the
NFL
floor.
episode. Oh my God, 37-14. How about those fighting Phils right now? And I'm chronically on Twitter, as you guys may know already, and I'm just like comment after comment is, you know who, the fan base where it's coming from. Oh, what about the schedule? What they haven't played anyone over 500 since the beginning of the season. Well, you know what? A lot of teams go into their series with the Phillies at 500 or near 500, and they finish below 500. So that's just there's nothing the Phillies can do about that. They're just
Yeah,
playing. They didn't make the schedule.
yeah,
Like it's like the same discourse from NFL fans who complained about the Eagles schedule 2 years ago. It's like these guys are just playing who's in front of them. I'm sorry.
hmm
And it's not even the fact that they're winning games, they're getting sweeps. They have 7 series sweeps on the season so far, and they have the best run differential in baseball. They're not just beating the teams they're supposed to beat, they're beating the crap out of them.
yep.
That's the difference between a good team and a great team. So there's only 5 teams, I believe, in the entire National League with a record over 500. All right. So the Phillies are just doing what they got to do.
hmm
They're hitting, they're pitching, their starting rotation is probably the best in baseball. If it's not Seattle, it's Philadelphia. We have three, I'll say 2.5 aces in the starting rotation. Suarez and Wheeler, for sure, all stars. Nola, it's just like he can be give or take.
Yeah.
You can get what you get out of him. He can be Roy Halladay one day, and then he can just be a screw up the next. But that's Nola. We're used to it. In the bullpen, they have 3 aces in the bullpen: Hoffman, Strom, Alvarado. The lineup, top to bottom, is producing hits. And they're not living and dying by the home run anymore.
Yeah.
That's the best part. They're hitting. They're like it's like a platoon. They're just rallying singles, doubles, stealing bases, taking advantage of defensive errors from the other team. You know, they're just doing everything they need to do right now. I
I
won't get
mean,
into a whole spiel about it. I feel like we need to do a Phillies episode
we should.
sometime in the future,
Yeah, for sure.
but because this is a NFL schedule review, namely Giants and Eagles, because those are our teams. So I
But
won't get too much into it, but the Phillies, they have at least
what
like 5 guys locked in for the All-Star game right now.
what I'm pissed about is the one game that I think they've lost in like the last 10 days is the one that I went to, and they lost that in extras.
And they had no business losing that game, and
Yep.
that actually cost me some money. I don't get into that, but yeah, there's a few games that they left on the table. Like they could legitimately be like 40-10 right now,
Mhm. And
or
then for the
they play
people,
51 games, so 40-11. They should be like
mhm,
about 40-11 right now. But I'll take it. Best record in baseball by at least 2 games right now.
mhm.
So
And for the people complaining about the schedule, didn't the Rangers win the World Series last year?
they sure did. I mean, there's no what can the Phillies do? They're just playing who they're playing, man. And the Rangers are probably going to turn it around and be back in the postseason. So it's like,
Hmm.
hey, I mean, the Reds, they were over 500 when we started that series. We beat them. The Padres were under 500 when we swept them. But guess what? They took 3 out of the 4 from the Atlanta Braves, and now they're over 500. So
Hmm.
thanks to the Braves, we have a winning record against teams above 500. So
Yeah. Thank
Braves
you.
fans, just shut up. All right. You've had your time on top of the division. It's our turn now. All right. You only got one World Series out of it, out of your 6 division titles. Okay. It's our turn now. All right. Just sit back and enjoy it, or
Yep.
don't. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have to. I
Phillies
prefer.
fans enjoy it because we've been through so much
Hmm.
in that
Oh.
11-year drought. So I got to watch the best collection of Phillies teams of all time, and now I'm getting to watch the second best collection of
Hmm.
Phillies teams who could surpass the '07 to 2011 teams. They could surpass them if they won a world championship. They could surpass those teams. So I'm just enjoying the ride, man. One
As
game
you
at a
should.
time, though. One
As
game
you
at a
should.
time. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. One game at a time. But let's get into
Hmm.
these schedules.
Yeah. So you want to do the Eagles breakdown first?
Yeah. So the schedules came out a week ago, 8 days ago, and just looking at it just from first glance, the first thing that just pops out like a sore eye is week 5 because we have a bye in week 5, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But I get it. The Eagles were severely overdue for an early bye. I believe the last time they had a bye before week 7 was in 2016 where they had a week 4 bye.
Wow.
And I hate it because that season they started 3-0. I don't know if you remember, but they started 3-0. Carson Wentz, it was his rookie year. And I remember that week 3 game, they blew out the Steelers on national TV. It was a 425 game, and they were rolling. And week 4 bye, they go to Detroit in week 5 and lose. And then the season just completely fell apart. So,
I'm
it worked
very.
out for them the following year, but that year, that Carson Wentz rookie year, they had an early bye and everything just seemed to fall apart. So I'm not expecting that to happen again because the schedule is very, very favorable for the Eagles. It's the 11th easiest schedule in the NFL based on opponents' win percentage from last year.
Hmm.
So it still sucks though, because it's like now it's like a long stretch from week 6 all the way till the end where there's like no breaks, and that peeves me a bit. But they're all overdue for it, so I get it. I
I
think
feel. Oh.
hopefully in the future we can get a 20-week schedule where there's 18 regular season games and 2 byes for every team.
Hmm.
Just make it 20
I
weeks. Just peel that
so
band-aid off.
people are mad about it and everything. I think it's a great idea.
For 2 bye weeks.
Yeah, 2 bye weeks for each team. You
Yes,
can.
like one. It's not enough,
Yeah,
and it's like
and selfishly, if the season ends on President's Day weekend, then we just automatically get that Monday off every year,
it's a exactly it's a 3-day weekend, which
which
we're about
is
to stumble upon this week. God bless.
yeah.
So
I don't know why everybody in my house that has a job or goes to school has Friday off and Monday off, so that's cool.
yeah, I don't have Friday off, but some of my coworkers, it's hard to explain. I work at a daycare. It's hard to explain, but some of
Hmm.
my coworkers have tomorrow off, but I don't, which sucks. But it's whatever.
Yeah,
Money to be made.
yeah.
So
Any yeah.
just a few more notes.
Hmm.
No primetime game against the Cowboys this year for the first time since 2006.
That's insane.
every single year since '06, they've had either a Sunday night or a Monday night game against the Cowboys. Usually they will alternate between each stadium. So the Link will get one in AT&T or old Texas Stadium back in the day. So yeah, I remember 2006 they played the Cowboys on Christmas Day. And I remember that because James Brown died that same day. For all my trivia nerds out there,
Hmm.
they won that game too. Brian Dawkins had a pick in the end zone. Just memories. So no two 425 games though. So they're playing national TV both
Hmm.
weeks, both matchups, but no primetime games. I think that's just weird.
Yeah.
Um I talked about week 5. Look, hey, they only play one team after week 4 that won a playoff game. Baltimore Ravens.
Charmin ass schedule.
It, it is, but hold on. Can we pause? Oh, what's up, brother? No, we get that from. Oh, probably. I think that's Kai. Sweet. All right. Honestly, you can leave that in. Don't even edit that out.
Yeah,
Just
we're,
think
we're
that's funny.
yeah.
Just keep rolling. I'm back. So, one team after week 4 that won a playoff game. They only play two 2023 playoff teams in back-to-back weeks once. So the Rams and the Ravens in weeks 12 and week 13. So yes, very favorable schedule. You can call it charm and soft. You can call it whatever you want. I don't care. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Um,
Why wouldn't you?
five five primetime games, tied for second most in the league. They had 5 scheduled primetime games last year, but they ended up getting a six after that Seattle game got flexed to Monday night. That was
Hmm.
absolutely horrible.
I
I
saw.
hate Monday. I hate Monday night games. I hate waiting that extra day. Like Sunday night games are bad enough because like you have to wait all
Hmm.
Sunday, but it's like at the end of you're gonna get your game at the end of the day. Monday is like extra day, and then you gotta wait all Monday
Yeah.
with no football. You're at work or you're at school, and it's just miserable. So
I think.
only I think we only have one Monday night game this year. So thank God we had like 3 last year.
Yeah.
So what else? What else do I have? 4 of the last 5 are at home. That is a big plus, big plus, especially if you're going to be in a divisional race or in a number 1 seed race, which I expect the Eagles to be in this year. That will be very favorable, and they will not have to board a plane for the last 6 weeks of the season. So they have 2 road games in the last 6 weeks of the year, but that's at Baltimore and in DC. So
Hmm.
just train rides. They don't have to get on a plane the last
Yeah.
6 weeks. I think that's a huge advantage.
I mean, is
That's
it the
all. That's all I have in terms of notes. But
have you? I don't know if trains are an advantage. Did you see what happened to all of New Jersey yesterday?
I did not.
Or it was, I think it was Tuesday. Um, like the
I
tracks.
mean, can we not put that into existence though? Into the
No,
universe?
I'm just saying. I don't think it's that big of an advantage. Literally, like Amtrak had like a signal failure on their tracks in New Jersey, so all of the New Jersey Transit trains couldn't run on it, and everything in and out of Penn Station was delayed. And then people have to take $100 Ubers to get to wherever they need to go from New Jersey. Not the one guy on Twitter that didn't want to take the subway from the
I saw
airport
that.
and was complaining about it. Which
I mean, I don't think the NFL would allow for that to happen. And the worst case scenario, if that would happen, they would
just
have like
get on a
chartered
bus.
buses
Yeah, get on a
waiting
bus for
for
like
them.
an hour and a half.
Either way, there's just no jet lag.
Oh,
Shout out to jet lag, by the way,
hey.
but no jet lag for the last 6 weeks of the season. So they do have to travel to LA, well, to Inglewood to take on the Rams the week before. But after that,
Hmm.
time to get on a plane until potentially the postseason, potentially a Super Bowl if they get the number 1 seed. Getting ahead of myself, I know, but I'm just saying that would be that would be the first time they'd have to get on the plane if
Hmm.
they could wrap up the number 1 seed. So
Yeah, for
you got
the
any you got any notes?
yeah, a couple. 9 1 p.m. games for the Giants, which is I'm not counting the last six.
I forgot. We have more 1 o'clock games. That thank you. I mean, there's only 6 scheduled so far, maybe 7 if week 18 is 1 o'clock. Sorry to cut you off, but
No, it's all good.
man, last year was miserable for me. I love 1 o'clock games. I love to
I
just get,
mean,
especially at home.
yeah.
I love to just get them out the way, man. But go ahead.
I mean, it's a good time to hang out. So 9. I thought it would be more, but then I was thinking about it's like the 100th season for the Giants or like a marquee NFL franchise, so it makes sense that they're giving them a lot of love this season. Um, Certain uniforms hopefully aren't worn in prime time. Do you not see the ones that they came out with last week?
With the 100-year anniversary ones?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't want them to wear that in prime time?
No, I mean the actual the jersey part is cool. I like that. The pants, the yellow pants don't make any sense whatsoever. They could have just,
They're more of like
worn
a beige, right? I wouldn't say they're yellow.
whatever color it is. It doesn't make sense.
I will say it fits that your Giants throwback uniform better than it did for the Pittsburgh and Green Bay throwbacks.
Yeah, the
I say
bumblebees.
that at least. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think like, if you're playing well wearing them, by all means. But I think the Giants Steelers game will definitely have those uniforms because it's Monday Night Football. But
I sh-
we
I
got
made a joke that they look like the Montreal Canadiens uniforms. I
yeah,
was saying go Habs go on Twitter. They do. I mean,
they do.
they're not terrible. I've seen much worse, including
I
from the
mean,
Eagles with
um,
'07 throwbacks.
like
I've seen worse.
the throwback uniforms that they came out with, like with the helmet changes and everything, the last 2 years, those are clean. These
Yeah.
ones, they're just like very busy, and like the pants, like the Giants haven't worn pants that color in 100 years, so that doesn't really, it won't appeal to the people on Twitter now, but it's cool.
It could look better on TV. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. It'll be fun. Malik Neighbors will look good wearing it, so that'll be cool.
Fair enough.
So we have 5 single window games. I didn't say prime time because 9:30 a.m. isn't necessarily prime time, but we
Yeah.
play in Germany, which I think is really cool because like took German in high school and all of that. My mom was born there, so just like family ties to
Really?
Germany. Yeah, my mom was born
Okay.
there.
I think you
Uh
told me that. Wow.
I'm gonna be there in 2 months, so that should be sick. But
Will you spin the block for that game? I feel like the tickets would be disgusting.
so here's the thing: if I wasn't already going to Europe in the summer, I would have tried to figure out a way to go to that game.
Nice.
But since I'm
A double dip.
already, yeah, like especially because probably going to go to India again in December, but yeah, so 5 single window games, which I'm not the biggest fan of just because 'cause I'm superstitious, and last year, whenever, like, even, like, the Monday night game against the Packers when Tommy DeVito, came back and won it for us, um, yeah, exactly. There were 2 games on at once, and I was watching the simulcast. Like, last year, the Giants always did good if I was watching, like, Red Zone or, like, splitting my time between them and something else, like another game, so that's just a superstition from last season. It is stupid, I understand, but at the same time, it is what it is. But other than that, I feel like there's a lot of cool matchups. I think it's a pretty hard schedule. Like we played I don't know why your guys's percentage is so much lower than ours because
That's
we
what I
play
was thinking. There's only like 3 team
yeah,
difference in our schedules because we're
yeah.
in the same division, so we have the same divisional opponents in the NFC and the AFC. So
Yeah,
outside of
that's
like where you placed in your division, you have to play 2 teams from
yeah.
other NFC divisions, and then that extra AFC game. I don't
Mhm.
know how those 3 games make such a big difference.
Me neither, but like playing the entire AFC North is a pretty rough stretch.
Yeah,
That's gonna suck. But other than that, I think like just want to see development from people. If Daniel Jones peters out, great. If not, if he's not playing well, Drew Lock season. I just saw an edit of that Seattle Eagles game. I saw Drew Lock edit from that. Like, I would not mind if he plays quarterback more than Daniel Jones this season. Not to get too into like actual football and not the schedule, but like just the injury
yeah,
guarantee. But overall, like I like the week 11 bye. I think that's like right smack in the
that's the sweet.
middle.
That's the sweet.
I also think that our schedule after the bye, we play the Bucks, Saints, Falcons, and Colts. I think those are we have a couple. We also play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. We play the Ravens, but like those are 4 winnable games, and we'll get into schedule predictions and why I think that'll be beneficial off the bye. in a second. But yeah, those are like my initial thoughts on schedule. Looking at it, I was mad though because the all the leaks and like the rumors were like Giants Commanders week 1 in MetLife on Sunday Night Football, and I was hoping that would happen because, like I said, like 100th season, like rivalry matchup, Jaden Daniels' first game in prime time, Giants in prime time. I thought that would be cool, but we play them week 2 in DC, so it's not the worst thing in the world. You still see them early.
As an Eagles fan, I would have hated that matchup, but it would make a lot of sense given the storylines why they would do that. Also, I think another note I forgot to mention, I don't think we play anyone coming off of their bye this year,
That's
which
insane.
is which is like God bless. Other than the week 5 bye, like everything just is just completely favorable for the schedule. I don't think there are a couple short weeks in here. You got to play Thursday night, you know, but that's just unavoidable in this climate. There's a Friday night game, week 1. That should be fun. Also, with my schedule predictions that I showed you before the schedule came out, I got a couple things right. So
Yeah.
Falcons week 2 at home, I predicted that correctly, but I said it will be a 1 o'clock game. That's going on Monday Night Football, and Cowboys and Giants to end the season. I got that right, but the Cowboys, I predicted that Week 17 game to be away. It's going to be
Hmm.
home, but Cowboys Giants in that order, I got that right. And I was a couple weeks off with the Panthers. They're Week 6. They're Week 14. I predicted Week 16, but everything else is dead wrong. Just
I
about.
mean,
I'm just looking back and forth like
I think it's
dead
really
wrong.
hard. This is my first time trying to do it. I think it's really hard to predict a schedule.
I think it's damn near impossible. I was just doing it for fun, as like
Oh,
what I
like
think it. I
yeah.
don't know.
That's I mean, it's a
I'm just a
fun
schedule nerd, so I just like to write out schedules, and I
yeah,
think one day I should probably work as a schedule maker. But I
yeah.
feel like
I
that's
feel
such a
like
headache of a job.
the actual
But
process of doing it must be so much fun. Like
I mean, for
fitting
my
in
own team, it's fun, but trying to figure out a schedule for the entire league seems
yeah. I
like
mean,
a headache and a half.
a lot of it is like computer based. I'm sure they'll get
It
AI
is
to do that shit in 2 years.
exactly.
But yeah, you want to get into the week
I
by
can throw
week?
this away. Would you like me to start?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with I think that's one of the games that I'm most excited for in week 1.
Yes, so it's one of my 5 most exciting games. I don't have a lot of exciting games, to be honest with you, because again, favorable schedule, that means a lot of weaker opponents, not a lot of big games, not like a gauntlet like we had last year, and those are murderers row of opponents who were Super Bowl contenders. One of those teams won the Super Bowl. Both Super Bowl teams were a part of that gauntlet.
Mhm.
So none of that this year. Um, But one of the most exciting games on the schedule is week 1 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Personally, I kind of hate that they're playing in Brazil because it counts towards a home game. If this counted towards an away game, I'd be more accepting to it. But it's the league has to do what it has to do to make money, and the Eagles have that 9, home game schedule. So
Mhm.
they figured, hey, they'll be fine. 8 games at the link. Screw those guys. They'll be fine. They don't need 9 games at the link. So, personally, I was a little peeved by that. Also, it's a Peacock exclusive game. I have Peacock because of WWE, so it's not a problem for me. But for people who don't have it and they don't live in the area, they have to get Peacock to watch that game. I think
I
that
mean,
sucks, but that's kind of just the world we live in now.
yeah,
So, but for the actual matchup, I mean, the quarterback matchup, man. Jordan Love,
beautiful.
Jalen Hurts. Love Hurts, part two.
Yeah.
I can't really say part two because Jordan came in for relief for Aaron Rodgers. He hurt his leg in a Sunday night matchup a couple years ago. But it will be the first time that they're both starting in a game
Mhm.
against one another. So I mean, whew, I'm expecting a shootout
Yeah.
for sure. I'm like just off the top of my head, like 34-30 kind of game. And the environment down there is going to be pretty tricky because the Packers, again, this is the Eagles' home game, all right? But it won't be a home game because, first of all, they have to travel. It's the 5th year in a row that they will start the season away from the link. So 5 straight years if they start week one on the road, it's technically a home game, but they're on the road. And the colors of the Brazilian flag are green and yellow. So, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, why do the Packers have such a big fan base down there?
Mhm.
Look at the flag. Ah, green and yellow. It makes
Mhm.
sense now. So it'll be tricky at Corinthians Arena. And I believe the Eagles will not be wearing green because that fan base down there for their soccer club, they do not like the color green because their rival team wears it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a black jersey matchup and the Packers will be in white.
Yeah.
Um, I can't really if this game was at the link, I'd tell you just straight ahead it'd be a win. It'll be a close win, but it will be a win. I It's hard to give an
I
outcome for
think
this game
I'm not gonna
because
give like
it's 50-50.
too much analysis on the Eagles games because I feel like that'll take way too long if we're both like giving opinions on every game.
Right, like
But
I'm not gonna break down, like each
yeah,
X's and
I
O's and stuff
I
like
think
that. But
there's a massive factor that helps the Eagles in this situation in that the Eagles can take a direct flight from Philadelphia to Sao Paulo. The Packers cannot take that flight out of Green Bay unless they make that airport bigger. So
that is a big
they're gonna have to go to Milwaukee or Chicago and then fly from there.
it is a quicker flight. It is a quicker flight.
So
It's a
just
straight it's kind of a straight line. We're kind of in
mhm,
the same
time
time
zone.
zone.
Yeah. So
Straight down. So
like you
it's
stay in the
still
same
it's
time,
still a long
and
flight, but
I also think since it's week one, maybe they get there a lot earlier.
right.
I think that would be beneficial. One sec.
So I think week one, the Eagles by 3 to 4 points. That should be your spread. The spread will be about 2.5,
Mhm.
but I think the Eagles by a field goal. It could be Jake Elliott last second, literally.
Yeah.
Like that's how it feels. Or
Mhm.
maybe, he hits a go ahead field goal and then they get a pick to end the game or something. It'll be
Yeah.
very close. But I'll be biased and I'll say the Eagles will win. I'll flat out just tell you I think they start 5-0, maybe 6-0.
I had something similar happen for them.
Yeah. So week two. No, you want to go with
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, you can go ahead. I won't get ahead
So
of myself.
week one, the Giants host the Minnesota Vikings, and I think the biggest question here is who's starting at quarterback for the Vikings, whether it's Sam Darnold or Brian Burns. I also think that this is interesting because today was the first day that OTAs are open to the public, for the Giants or to the media as well. But everybody's saying that DeAndre Banks is looking like, or is it Deontay or DeAndre? I get confused with him, and
Deontay, I believe.
I think it's Deontay. That's my bad, DeAndre Baker.
You're good.
Still have PTSD from that pick. Shout out Gettleman. But everything coming out is like, new number. He's wearing 3 now instead of 23 or whatever it was last season. And he looks the every bit of a number one cornerback. So test him right out of the gate. You play Justin Jefferson, you're gonna be manned up on him. I think that's gonna be really fun. If JJ McCarthy is the quarterback for the Vikings. Or actually, whether it's JJ's first start or Sam Darnold, I think the Giants win. Just because I think the Giants defense is gonna be really good this year. Just if that defensive line can play up to its potential, they like the somewhat holes in the secondary, which still can be filled because it's only May. They aren't going to look as bad. I think that they take that win and start the season 1-0.
All right. And for the Eagles in week two, for the third straight year, Kirk Cousins will be traveling to the link in week two on primetime. It's a Monday night game against the Falcons. It didn't go so well for him the last two times. I think it'll be the same here. Now, the Falcons, they are a sneaky good pick for the NFC South this year. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
West wide open. That division is just like anyone but the Panthers could win it. So I think the Falcons, they should take advantage of that. They should win 9 or 10 games with
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins at quarterback. You have a veteran quarterback who can kind of steer that ship right now. You have a new coach, Arthur Smith. He's out of there. The offense should open up pretty
Mhm.
well now, and it's not going to matter against the Eagles. But I think for the Falcons, they're a sneaky good pick. So
Yeah. I think it's more so like last year than the year before. I don't think they get blown out at the link,
no,
like, but I think it's like
I
you
think
guys.
yeah. They got well 2 years ago they got blown out.
Yeah.
Last year it was much closer than it should
Mhm.
have been. It shouldn't have been that close. But Jalen threw a pick or two, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Week 2, the Giants travel, take the Amtrak or bus or whatever they have to go to Landover, Maryland to play Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, which I just realized that we could be playing 2 rookie quarterbacks back to back, which once again, I think that the Giants win. The Commanders are the one team that they beat regularly in the division the last couple of years. And I think that our offensive firepower, even with Saquon gone, I think with Devin Singletary, Malik Neighbors, the rest of the receivers. Darren Waller, can you please make a decision? It is May. Like, I understand that there's a lot going on in your life, but can we please make a decision on if you want to play football in 4 months or not? Because it's starting to piss me off. But I think that
I think he'll suit up, man.
you
He's going
can't
through a lot right now.
you can't take this long to decide, and then I don't think if you take this long to decide, I just don't think you can like commit to it as much as you need to.
That
And
is true.
honestly, just let the young guys play because the tight end that we drafted in the 4th round, I really like, and he should be a starter at some point this season. But regardless, I think we beat the Commanders. We start off the season 2-0 because it's a fairly light opening schedule, provided that there's no like RG3 Cam Newton like run to start off a rookie season for those 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, and week 3 for the Eagles is their first road game, their first true road game of the season at New Orleans. Now, the Superdome has been the boogeyman for the Eagles for pretty much all my life. I believe their only win that I can remember at the Superdome was in 2007. That was just a wild shootout game. They haven't done well there, but Drew Brees isn't there anymore. It's
Yeah.
Derek Carr, and all due respect to him, he's just not the answer right now, at least long term for the New Orleans Saints. I think it's another comfortable 10 to 14 point win.
Hmm.
Same with the Falcons. I think that whole NFC South part of the schedule for the Eagles, even with the following team, because I know what happened in the playoffs last year, but the like that season was just. I feel like the whole team kind of just checked out by the time we got
Hmm.
to the wild card round.
Yeah.
So
Did you see
I'll
what?
just jump ahead and just say they play the Bucks the following week. So I think they just sweep that stretch of just NFC South opponents.
Start off 4-0.
Yeah,
All right.
because
Yeah. All
it's
right.
just I'm just looking at just talent level, just looking at
Mm-hmm.
the depth chart right now. It's just these are games that the Eagles should absolutely win,
Yeah.
just flat out.
Really quickly, because you brought up last year, and like I'm thinking about coordinators and everything. Did you see what the Dolphins players had to say about Vic Fangio?
I did.
That was that was really funny. I
It's troubling, but I mean, Jalen Carter also came out in the media, and that might be PR, but he also had very good things to say
I
about
feel
Vic,
like
about how
I
he's
feel
an
like
old school guy, and
yeah, exactly. Like I feel
he
like
appreciates that.
what's it called? Like if you have like an old head as a coordinator or coach, like it's not gonna rub everybody the
It's
right
it's harder
way.
it's harder to connect,
Like Tom Coughlin, by all accounts in New York, was like great dude, really good coach, everything. He went down to Jacksonville and they hated him and kept filing grievances to the NFLPA because he was hard on them. So, and that's what made like that played a part in like Jalen leaving and everything like that. But week 3, the Giants traveled to Cleveland to play the Browns. I don't think that they'll win that game. I feel like this would be like a Daniel Jones 3 to 4 turnover type of deal against that defense. Hopefully Evan Neal plays better. Otherwise, Daniel Jones might get hurt again because Miles Garrett is a scary human being. But and I'll go week 4. First primetime game. We host the Cowboys Thursday night football. We're not going to win that game either. I don't think that the talent level is there to beat Dallas unless Dallas just has one of those Cowboys years where everything falls apart for them very quickly, which It very well could, given how things are
Yes,
looking right now.
they usually like to wait until December and January.
No, I agree, but like if you look at like the last decade or so, like every second or third year, they have a year where like they're just all god awful. The year where they picked, they ended up getting the fourth pick because, and they took Zeke. Then they picked in the
Listen,
top.
don't be surprised if they don't make the playoffs this year, man. I'm so serious when I say
I
that. Do
mean,
not be surprised.
you haven't paid
Like,
your
what are the
best.
offseason moves? What moves did they make to get better? I mean, any draft picks of theirs jump out to you? No. Did they extend anybody? No. Did they sign any free agents? No.
Hey, I think they signed a long snapper.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that tells you what
I
you need to know.
mean, you haven't paid your
Oh,
quarterback
they
or your
brought back
receiver.
Zeke. They brought back
Ah,
Zeke.
that's a Super Bowl winning move.
Oh, yeah. You know,
Um, No, I don't understand how like they can be they're like good at drafting, which from what the media says is like other people handle, and then the Jones family is like dealing with the contracts and negotiations, and they wait until the last minute. They're gonna have to pay Dak more
great at
than
drafting, but it doesn't.
they're gonna have to pay Dak more than what Jared Goff got, and they're
It
good.
just doesn't pan out for them at the end of
And
the
if
year.
they're
Waste of
not
time.
negotiating with CD yet, they're gonna have to pay him more than Jamar and Justin.
Right.
And then they're gonna have to pay Michael Parsons like 70 a year to keep him there if they don't keep winning. Because with the way things are looking, there's just no way that he doesn't want to go leave and play for Houston free agency in like a year. And I'm sure CJ's already recruiting him. Which, side note, those two are hilarious together. But yeah, what is the Eagles week 5 matchup? Or you have to buy week 5.
Couch. The
Yeah.
couch is the
Yeah.
matchup. Yeah. I also forgot week 4 is homecoming for Devin White, so that should be interesting
Oh,
to
that is
watch at the
cool.
day.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's
I forgot he was on your team.
man, he's such a that linebacker group is such a question mark right now. Like it could be the best, not the best part of defense, but they could be very, you know, productive, or it's just going to be a complete hole in the middle of the defense between him and Nakobe Dean, and him staying healthy, and then Devin White trying to get back to his former self. So
Yeah. Like the issue
I'm very nervous about the linebacker groups, but that's probably the
the
only position group I'm nervous about. So that's positive, at
Yeah,
least.
yeah. So week 5, the Giants travel to Seattle, play the Seahawks on CBS at 4 o'clock.
Where are you at
Um,
in your record, by the way? I
I
think you had back-to-back losses.
they're 2-2 right now, and I don't think that they're going to beat Seattle, so I have them going to 2-3. There's a lot of
Is that Seattle?
yeah. It's at Seattle, which we have. I don't think we've
That's
won there since
another
I can
boogeyman of
remember.
the Eagles. Yeah, that's another boogeyman of the Eagles as well. They don't win there. They don't win at home against Seattle. They don't. They just don't beat Seattle at
Yeah,
all.
like even the last time I think we won in Seattle was when Colt McCoy had to start because Daniel got hurt. It was the first time that he hurt his neck, and the defense just completely locked down Russell Wilson and them. And I would remember I was mad because like a play of DK stiff arming Bradbury went viral, even though Bradbury like tackled him on that play. Like he was stiff armed, but like he was getting tackled while he was stiff arming him. I was like, what is it? But like that was the season where like it gave the Giants a little bit of hope going down into the playoff stretch. But yeah, that was the only time that I think we beat them in like last 7 or 8 years. Even the first stable year we lost in Seattle. But yeah, I think in that environment, like I think the Giants might have a better team than Seattle outside of like the wide receiver room, but like I don't think that they can, travel, go, beat them. The one thing that could help is that they have 10 days between the Dallas game and the Seattle game, and it's the Leonard Williams revenge game, I guess, as we traded him last year.
All right, week 6, the Eagles are back at home to take on the Cleveland Browns. It'll be a tight matchup, I believe. Ah, ah, hold on, give me a second. I got a little kink in the shoulders. Gotta
You're
get it.
getting old. You're getting old.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, that's what it is. I gotta give myself a little massage. But Week 6 hosting the
Hey! I just like to point out that Cleveland, and you brought up massages. I'm just leaving that out there.
Huh?
That you brought up playing Cleveland, and then you brought up a massage right
Oh, that was
after.
the joke. That
Yeah,
was the joke.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another one in the column. It'll be closer. It'll be a tight matchup. I mean, I don't. I wish I could give you a more detailed
Yeah, I mean, it's too early. We don't. No one knows
because,
what's
like,
happening.
I don't know how these teams are gonna stack up.
Yeah, like.
But it's just like based on these are all just based on paper predictions for
Mhm.
me.
Oh, exactly.
So because when the season starts, I'll go more in depth and I'll give
Mhm.
you like detailed thoughts
Yeah.
on matchups and the schemes and everything. But week 6, win flat out
This is the when I
6-0,
was. Yeah.
possibly 5-1, but I'll
Wait,
be
wait,
biased and
wait.
say six,
Wait. Since you had the wouldn't it be 5-0 since you had the bye?
5-0. You're right. So 5-0, potentially 4-1, because I think that Packers game is still up in the air. It's a coin flip.
Mhm. I
It feels
think
like a win, but you just
this is the
that
first game that
environment
I
we don't know.
had. This is the first game that I had y'all losing when I was like doing.
Cleveland,
Yeah,
that's fair.
just because the defense. And, like, the offense is like, people sleep on the offense a little bit because, Deshaun is not deserving of.
Miles, which side would he line up on? Because I think if he's matched up with Jordan, he's going to eat a little bit.
See,
If he's matched up with
the
Lane,
if you look at the Browns defensive line, and I haven't, like, gone in depth into it, but, like, the Browns defensive line has, like, 10 people that could start on other teams in the NFL. So, like, they're just gonna keep rotating out. They can put Miles Garrett was, doing crossovers over the center against Cincy last year when Burrow was on one leg.
some different
So
looks. That'll be
it'll
tough.
that'll be fun. It'll be a good
Jalen
test.
Jalen will have to run around a little bit, and that knee will be nice and healed. I believe so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
yeah.
So he's gonna have to run. He's gonna have to use his legs. That'll be a
Mhm.
tough game.
Week 6, the Giants host the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday Night Football. That is another loss. This is like in my top 5 for games that I'm excited for though because the Giants haven't played Burrow yet ever. So that I'm excited for because I think that'll be fun. But I just think that it's a far superior team right now, talent wise, than the Giants. Now, like you said, all of this is subject to change once we actually get to week 6. But as of right now, that is another loss, and we are at 2-4.
And we share week 7, sir. The
Yeah,
Saquon homecoming. This game, I will make sure
yeah, we're
I am
we're
there. I will
we're
make
going to this game.
sure. My brother as well, because he is also a Giants fan. God bless his soul. Poor
I
guys. You
cannot.
guys have been through so much these last few years.
It's
My
okay.
heart goes out to you.
It's okay. We have 2 rings in the last 15 years.
That's cool. That's all right. Obama administration rings. That's all
Hey,
good, man.
hey,
Hey,
hey. First one.
Bush. It was Bush.
Technically, I think
Yeah,
that's
damn.
maybe this.
It was the end. It was the end of Bush.
Maybe
But
the
yeah,
Super Bowl was like 2 weeks after the inauguration because I think the Super Bowl was in '08. Wait, now I have to Google this.
no, no, no. It was the year before. So Obama was elected that year
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
November.
Yeah, no,
He
what
was, he was, he was getting his campaign ready.
Super Bowl 42 happened on February 3rd, 2008. Oh yeah. I get what you mean. I get
Yeah,
what
he
you
was
mean.
getting he was getting the campaign ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was going up against Hillary. Yeah.
My my
So the
brain.
Saquon homecoming. I mean, I feel like this shouldn't be a 1 o'clock game. This should have been.
At least
I don't
four.
know. 4:20. Yeah, it works for us if we were to go. That would be great because I plan on going to New York that entire weekend because that is my birthday weekend.
Hmm.
My birthday is the following Tuesday, the 22nd, but I'll be celebrating that weekend. So being able to go to that game and then be able to go back into the city would
Yeah,
be a cool experience.
yeah.
But damn, Saquon coming back, he can't give him 425.
It's
That's
okay.
odd.
It's not that big a
It's
deal. It's
all
not like
good.
he helped us win any games or anything.
I think he kind of did, but at least when his first couple years,
Per-
I do remember his rookie season. I worked the game at the link. You guys are here, and
we should
he
have won
went
that
off for
game.
that long. He probably should have. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
went off for like a what 60 something yard
yeah. That
touchdown.
screen pass. That screen pass.
It was like
Dude,
right before halftime.
if I think that my opinion on him is not as harsh as some.
We should have kept going, bro.
I'm gonna take a break. My voice is slowly dying, but
Oh man, you're good.
my opinion on him isn't as harsh as some Giants fans, but at the same time, it's not like this isn't like Odell coming back, which still hasn't happened yet, coincidentally. But
Well, can I just ask who had more of an impact?
I think it's definitely like if you look at the 2016 season, we made the playoffs and then the boat incident happened and whatever. Um, he won us he won us at least 7 of those 10 games that we won. Like it was all him. Like we beat Dallas 10-7 and he took us a slant 80 yards to score in the fourth quarter. So the defense
Yeah,
the
no.
defense was good. Like advanced metrics, the defense was still trash, but Odell, I think he had a lot more of an impact. It's not like if like Eli went to another team or like, one of the like Michael Strahan or Justin Tuck come like if they ever came back. I don't think it's, at that level. But at the same time, it's just like because of the way everything was handled, Saquon doesn't like Giants fans, so we don't like him that much. So
I feel like that's a little bit overblown. I wouldn't say he flat out just doesn't like Giants fans.
I
I think he could have handled that better though. I think he's
I
being petty, but
so so
it's more
I
towards like management than it is against the fans, right?
I don't think so because the offer that you guys gave him was 2 million more than the initial offer that the Giants gave in guaranteed money. And the Giants stuck to that offer and they said that they weren't going above it. So the whole thing of like, oh, the Giants didn't give me an offer is bullshit because what they agreed to is that he would go explore the open market and then he would bring it back to the Giants if they wanted to match it or not. And they didn't want to match that offer, which makes sense because we're not in a position to play a running back that much money.
Nor
And
really should you.
yeah,
And
exactly.
he
So
probably took that the wrong way though, you know?
I mean, but like if you're communicating, and then the other thing is that if you have this like goody two shoes, like I want to be in New York forever image, and then it takes you like 3 weeks to say thank you to the Giants fans that like show up to all your charitable events, like and all of that, like root for you and all of that, like spend money on your jerseys and shit, help you make money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, buddy, but if you got drafted to Tampa Bay or whatever, you're not getting the endorsements that you have. And like, if Eli isn't your teammate, you're not getting like the visa deal and everything else. So let's calm down a little bit. And you will get hate for going to Sixers games and rooting for the Sixers. Because that seems like a, new hobby. Especially because it's against the Knicks and like,
He is a PA boy, so I mean, but they don't
that's
have
fine.
anything out
It's
there
his dad
other than
wasn't
Penn State.
his dad was a Jets fan. His dad had a Jets tattoo
Gross.
growing up in PA. So I'm just gonna leave that all that out
This is
there.
a little personal for you, yeah, just a little
Yeah.
bit.
I
It's
still think
personal for me too, but on a lesser scale.
I still think that we lose this game. Unless
Okay.
unless I do end up going, then I'm changing that to a win because I have a very respectable record in that stadium with attendance. Although the last time I went was an Eagles game and we lost and it was rainy and I was also sick. So that was a
If anyone
miserable.
cares, the Eagles are, I believe, 3-0 games I've attended. I've attended more games like as an employee, and they've
Yeah.
lost a couple, but as a fan, they're
hmm
3-0. So
I
I'll
think
take it.
I think the Giants have lost twice in like the 11 or 12 games that have.
That is a very good winning percentage, sir.
I am angling for my dad to get season tickets right now. I'm supposed to call the Giants season tickets person tomorrow. So if that happens,
I hope so, man.
if that happens, we're good. I
I
mean,
will.
if
I
that
will
happens,
love that
we
for you.
9 wins guaranteed. Actually, that's lying, but it's whatever. But yeah, I think we lose this game. Once again, talent level compared to the Eagles and the Cowboys just isn't there right now. We're getting there though because we finally have a good GM. Who do
Shout out to
y'all
Joe fan.
play week 8?
Okay, so this is the first stretch. This is the first game of a 6 week stretch where they don't play any 1 o'clock games, and I'm going to be entirely miserable. 425 on the road at Cincinnati. I believe this is their first loss of the season. Finally, so that would put them at what, 7 games. It would be 6-1,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. I mean, another great quarterback matchup, Burrow versus Hurts. I think they'll just be due for a loss, and especially coming off what should be a very emotional game at the Meadowlands and then having to go back on the road. It's just not the team you want to face coming off of a high like that, especially
Yeah.
if they were to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like say we lose to the Giants in week 7, I think that'll piss them off a little bit and they might be motivated to beat the brakes off of Cincinnati. But if we come out of that Giants game with the win, high, like emotional high, I think it'll be a letdown for them
Mm-hmm.
to go into
No, that
Cincinnati.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and of course, the Bengals are a very good enough team to beat the Eagles, especially at home. The
Mm-hmm.
last time, I believe the last 2 games they played there, they didn't win. One was a tie in 2008. We also tied them the last time we played them in 2020. For some
That's
reason, we
funny.
keep tying the Bengals. So be on the lookout for that. It's very possible that could happen the third time.
Maybe
Um,
throw some money on that.
yeah, that's so odd. We've tied them twice. I think the only 2 ties in my lifetime were against the Bengals. So just an odd little stat for you.
Week 8, we go to Pittsburgh, play the Steelers. I hope I can go to that game. I just thought of that today because one of my best friends is a Steelers fan. But like I
Okay.
said, 100th season for the Giants. It's a Monday night football game.
That's
Uh,
home, right? Home
no,
game
it's a
weekend.
away game in Pittsburgh.
All right. They probably won't wear the jerseys then,
Probably not. Who knows? It's not like it's gonna
unless
clash.
the Steelers want to wear white. It's up to
I
them.
mean, if the Steelers wear like a black jersey, then like those ones won't really clash. It'll be an ugly matchup,
No, yeah,
but I think this could be a once. I think this is a win, but
okay.
I think this is a cool matchup. Just this was number one, not to give everything away, but like this is my most exciting game. I think just because 100 season for the Giants. I don't know what season the Steelers are on, but at the same time, like there are people in the families that are like the Rooney family and the Mara family have like they're related in some ways. I think one of the Mara daughters is named Rooney Mara. She's like an actress and everything. Like she's named
Mhm.
after Art Rooney. So
That is
uh,
true. Yeah.
that I think that'll be cool, and I think we get the win to go to 3-5 on the year.
Steelers country, let's weld. I don't know.
I think Justin Fields will be the quarterback by then.
That early, week 8.
Honestly, Russ wasn't
That's
that
a
bad.
disaster.
Russ
I
wasn't
was
that
gonna
bad.
say if he's a quarterback by week 8, that's a disaster.
I think it makes sense. Like even if you're like at 500, I think it makes sense to go to Justin Fields to figure
I think
out what he can
I think
do.
you'd want him to just sit under Russ though for a full
But you're
year.
gonna have to pay him after this year if you want to keep him. That's why. Like Russ is a 1 year flyer. He's on the backup like veteran stop back quarterback trajectory now. Like that's
How
his
many years did Russ sign to?
who Russ or Justin Fields. I think Russ is
Russ.
a 1 year deal or a it's either a
Yeah,
one
so
or 2 year minimum deal.
if it's a 1 year deal, I'd have Justin sit behind him and then kind of just invest into him if he shows any flash.
I don't know. If I
It's
were like
look, it's a
it's a
situation that I'm glad that the Eagles aren't in. I'll just say
yeah.
that.
Hey,
Um,
Kenny Pickett, the quarterback controversy if Hurts doesn't play well.
Jesus fucking Christ, this Mariota and Minshew all over again. Just don't get hurt, Jalen. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Fucking
But no, I
week
think
9.
yeah.
I was gonna say is Doug Peterson's homecoming, but he did that 2 years ago. I
Hmm.
forgot. I believe week 4, week 5.
I think it
He
was
came back
we
to
went
win.
to we went to live to that
We
day.
were at we were at live. It was a nasty rainy day,
Yeah,
and the Eagles were down 14 zip, but then they came back and won. So he's coming back again, and this time it'll be a Sunday night game, which is just an odd choice for Sunday night.
I
Just
think it
doesn't.
makes sense. Trevor.
Trevor,
People forget there was a point in time where the Jaguars were the number one seed in the AFC last year, like after week 10. And then Trevor got hurt and shit started going south for them because he played hurt and like was throwing 5 picks a game.
look, I'm not going to take anything away from him, but I just feel like that Burrow matchup could have been a Sunday night matchup, honestly,
No,
in
for
my
sure.
opinion.
But also like they gave Giants Bengals Sunday night over Giants Eagles, I guess. Or Eagles Bengals, I guess.
What would you rather put in Sunday night football?
Oh, Eagles, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fine. I guess that's just a scheduled nitpick as a
Yeah.
scheduled nerd myself. But it's whatever. I believe it is a win. They get back into the win column, so 8-1, and yeah,
Yeah. The Giants host the Commanders. I think that's a win. Already talked about them second time playing them. But I think it's a win and we go to 4-5 on the season.
somebody has to finish last in our division. I think it'll be Washington.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone has to.
I just think that so with them, I think it's an interesting experiment because they have Eckler and Bobby Wagner and a couple other veterans, and then obviously you have like Terry McLaurin. But then at the same point, it's like a rookie quarterback, so it all depends on how he plays. And I
Shout out to
already,
Austin Eckler though.
yeah, and
He
I
won me my
already,
championship 2 years
yes,
ago.
sir.
So
And I already think that it's a bit like the Dan Quinn shirt, that entire situation. Like they're still not entirely escaping bad PR. The Chiefs are helping the entire NFL with PR right now in terms of not having any attention on them. But it's I don't know. I don't think like Washington is a and this could all come back to bite me in the ass if they like sweep us or beat us or whatever. But I think we beat them both
I
games.
doubt it. All right, week 10, back on the road. The first of two matchups against the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles, I believe, take their second loss of the season to fall to 7-2. It's just they don't win in Jerry World. They haven't won since 2017 when they went all the way. It's
Damn.
just it's just it's been
Damn.
2017. Yes, it's
That
been that long.
is
It's been
that is
7 years.
insane.
They just don't win there. And before then, they've only won about a couple games at Jerry World. I think they've only had like 3 to 4 wins total in that stadium, and it's been around since 2009. They've got like 4 wins in that stadium, so
That's insane.
it
Like
just feels like a scheduled loss. It's
yeah,
420. It's on CBS too. That's disgusting. Eagles
I
and Cowboys should never be on CBS.
never.
I gotta listen to Tony Romo call a Cowboys game. Like that just feels like a scheduled loss to
Okay.
me.
Okay.
It gives me the biggest ick.
We're kind of fucked. It's
Giant.
for 425. It's either going to be Tony Romo or Tom Brady.
No, it's CBS, so it's
No,
Tony.
no, no, no. I'm just talking about in general.
Oh, all year.
Yeah, it's like if you have like the main 425 game on either network, it's
Yeah,
Romo or
yeah.
Tom Brady.
Shout out to
Which
Greg Olson.
I
He
feel
he
so
won
bad for him.
he won the Emmy the other night. He
I
won the Emmy for best analyst, and he's getting. I
I
put out a little tweet. He's the Dwayne
so
Casey of analysts.
so when Al Michaels ultimately retires, I hope that it doesn't happen for a while because he's like
Well,
one of my favorite commentators
I
of
mean,
all
he's been
time.
off of NBC for a while though. It's kind of
I
like
mean,
let him
he's
move on.
getting a bag from Amazon, so either
He is.
that or if you want to replace Chris Collinsworth at some point, someone should give him a bag to come. And I would say Amazon is more like inclined to spend money because they have more money than the networks right now, but that's neither here nor there. Also my fever dream right now, complete side topic, but on Amazon, since they're getting NBA rights, is they license NBA on TNT. Like they license the show because if that show goes away, I'm gonna be so I'm already pissed because the TNT music is like the last like nostalgia music for like sports that's left like in basketball.
Well, round ball rock might be back.
I wasn't
It might come.
I wasn't coherent when basketball games were on NBC.
No, but it's still nostalgic. I mean,
For
you'll
other
probably
people,
still get that feeling.
I will. I'm sure it'll be cool, but
Because I kind of missed it. I missed out on that era too. I was too young.
like it's I'm gonna be so mad if that show doesn't exist next, like 2 years from now.
I feel like in some form or fashion it will. Like if
They
it's, it'll be at least like independently owned because I think Charles Barkley has a production company.
Yeah, just let him take it.
So
Let him
I
take the
think it'll be a thing. And honestly, that might be a benefit if it's independent and they can kind of just
so
like
I
take
think
the band-aid off a little bit and just let loose because
Pat
they
Pat
kind of already do on TNT. So
yeah,
it's like
Pat said this on his show today that Mike Golick's wife maybe tagged him in a tweet or whatever about if Chuck licenses the show to like Amazon or wherever, like if he gets the rights and then licenses it, then they'll have free reign to say whatever, like Pat Meth.
exactly that's what I'm
And
saying. Like that would be
that would be
10 times
incredible.
better.
That would be
You don't have those.
insane.
You don't have those
Bro,
Turner Network handcuffs on anymore.
Charles Charles Barkley would be appointment viewing every single night that he's on
Like
TV.
we've been kind of doom and gloom about inside the NBA, but it might be a blessing in disguise that they're not on Turner Network
Yeah,
anymore.
honestly,
So,
especially because the TNT website sucks for watching games.
oh yeah,
But it's on Max now. But yeah, the week 10, the Giants travel to Munich to play
oh
the
yeah.
Carolina Panthers,
Both our
which
teams are international.
yeah, once again, the memes on the internet about us, still being
Poor
mad at German,
Germans.
us being mad at the Germans, still pretty funny. Well done. But
Poor Germans. They gotta
I
watch
think,
that. They don't.
I
I don't
mean,
think they know any better though. I don't think they will
no,
care.
German football fans are like, it's supposed to be like the second largest country for football after the US.
They'll still appreciate it though.
Yeah, oh, I mean that stadium is gonna be packed. They're gonna be singing. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
great time. It's a stadium where
exactly.
Bayern plays, so that's also another cool thing for me. But I'm really excited. I think we win, obviously.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
you
if
should.
if we lose to the
You
Panthers, I'm
better.
gonna be
You
pissed.
better.
If
You
we lose to the
got better
Panthers, I'm
win.
gonna be pissed. Oh, Brian Burns revenge game. We're good.
Oh yeah, like
We're
you
good.
guys, you had
I keep forgetting we have a top 10 edge rusher on our team and a top
It
2
won't
tackle.
technically be a homecoming game for them. Is that a home game
No,
for you guys or a road
no,
game?
it's an away game. It's an away game, so we're good.
That's a benefit for you guys because I remember when we played Jacksonville in England, it was a road game for us. So
Yeah. It's
see, I don't mind if it's a road game, but taking away a home game from the link, god damn it, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. Oh, you had brought up Al Michaels earlier in Prime Video. That's our Week 11 matchup at home against the Commanders, and I think the Eagles. They lost two out of their last three, according to my prediction. So they're back in the win column. It's week 11. They'll go 8-2. My math is correct. And they take care of Washington. I
yeah,
think that's a,
that's an easy
I
game.
feel like Giants and Cowboys are kind of always like a split. I know recent years we've kind of been dominant against the Giants, but last year we split. I think that'll happen again this year. Again, getting ahead of myself. But the Commanders, that's the one NFC East opponent where I can say surefire. That's a sweep.
Yeah.
So
Week
we'll take
11.
care of it.
Giants are on a bye week 11 after the Germany trip, and
Must be nice. Have
their
a
record
late ball.
their record after the bye would be 5-5.
Wild card hunt, man.
Yeah, so basically I have them going on a 5-game losing streak after week 2 and then winning 3 back right before the bye because they play the Steelers, Commanders, and Panthers.
That's nuts. I feel like they're gonna sneak a win out of those
I
five
mean,
games.
I tried to be as realistic as non-biased as possible. Like we could easily lose to
Fair
the
enough.
Steelers, like in Pittsburgh, Monday Night Football. We could easily lose that game, but I tried to be as non-biased as possible.
Fair enough. Your week 11 matchup was Germany,
Bye
or was
week,
that week 10?
bye
My
week,
week, bye week. There
bye
you
week
go.
after Germany.
Week 12, the last time the Eagles will have to touch a plane in a regular season. God bless. At the Rams on NBC, Sunday Night Football. Look, life without Aaron Donald, it's going to be tricky for the Rams and their fans. He's done everything he's needed to do, and he's got that gold jacket waiting for him. But I
Yeah,
feel like, damn, he's got a lot left in the tank.
they didn't move his locker. Everything's set up for him if he wants to come back.
Listen, I don't blame them. I feel like out of respect, they shouldn't even
Oh,
just
100%.
even if he was like just like I'm not coming back. It's just like it's over. Like,
But
don't even touch it.
also, that this might be the most badass career move that we've seen in the NFL, where you play 10 years and are like, "Yeah, I'm good." And you
Exactly.
literally
Because he's done everything. He's got his ring. He's got multiple
he went to the Pro Bowl
everything but
every single
MVP.
year. He went to the Pro Bowl every single year, including the
Yes.
rookie year. Phenomenal.
Was he not
That's
all pro of the year too, or
that I'm not. I know the Pro Bowl
not
ones.
first team? I know he wasn't first team every year, but second or
Say
third team.
I'm 100% confident on the Pro Bowls. I'm not 100% confident on the All Pros. That's why I didn't say
Got
it. But
Look, he's done everything but win MVP, and it's just damn near impossible for a defensive player to
yeah.
win MVP. So it's like he was the defensive MVP for 4 seasons.
hmm Oh,
So
100%. He's phenomenal.
yeah, man, him and that'll be a legendary Hall of Fame class. Him and Kelsey.
hmm The trenches.
Yes, sir. So I believe that is a win.
hmm
I mean, all due respect to Matt Stafford, I think it'll be a great game.
hmm
But I think the Eagles, they match up
See,
pretty well.
the issue
I mean,
with
we've beaten them last year in
yeah.
their at their place. So it'll the
hmm
only difference it'll be prime time.
Yeah.
So
The thing with Matt Stafford is that if Matt Stafford is playing at his potential, at his peak, he's not missing a throw. Like there's no interceptions, like nothing, and he's absolutely cooking you.
they should have beaten Detroit last year
If
in the playoffs too. They should have won that game.
it wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't, but they had it.
Wait, do you know that they play in Detroit week 1?
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
No, that makes sense because it's a rematch of that Sunday
That
night game,
is
and
sick.
that'll be a great
But
game.
what's it called? If Matt Stafford is not playing at peak Matt Stafford level, you're getting at least one pick six and like taking about 8 sacks. Maybe a pick or two more mixed
Quinion,
in.
take it home.
Let's relax. But was that week 12 or 11?
Week 12.
All right, week 12. The We host the Bucks. I think that's another win. Once again, I think like with the or NFC South teams, that's like they could be really good, but like it also could be like a 7-10 team wins the division again. But like I think if the Giants once again trying to be as realistic as possible, I think we can win that
All right. So with the Eagles up next, another loss. So it'll be their third loss in 6 weeks. Loss, win, another loss. At the Ravens, 425. It'll be a very fun game and another very fun quarterback matchup. I think this one's for the hood, especially Lamar versus Jalen. You know the hood can be tuned into that one. Um, another team, another stadium, I guess that has the Eagles number. I kind of base a few of these just off of just history.
game.
They just don't do well in Baltimore. I can just think back to that 108-yard pick six from Ed Reed off of Kevin Cobb, just like trauma. That season ended up turning out pretty well for the Eagles. They had no business being in an NFC Championship game if they got there, but before they got there and made that run, it was just ugly times. So I just think back to that when I think of Baltimore. I just feel like that's just a place they just won't win at.
Mhm.
And then again, on paper, this is a team that went to the AFC Championship game, hosted it, and were a couple of just dumb mistakes away from being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you know they're going to come back with just like red in their eyes all
Mhm.
season. And I
Oh,
think it's a team who will compete for the number one seed in the AFC. It'll be
for
a
sure.
premier matchup.
Mm,
I thought it would have been a Sunday night matchup. They gave it to the Rams instead and gave us 425. So again, I'll have to hear Tony Romo. I might just go to Baltimore for that game,
yeah.
honestly.
I mean, Amtrak.
They're close enough, exactly. So I won't have to, I won't have to hear
Yeah.
his voice.
Yeah.
Look, I love Tony. He started out so great and it kind of just fell off for him. I don't
You
know
can
what
tell when
happened.
he doesn't care.
Yeah, like it just like what happened? I think he just got too comfortable in his role.
No, I
So
was reading something about it. It's like if the game is exciting and everything, then he's like going off of vibes, is like excited, it's really good. If he gets like a boring game or like a team that he doesn't know that much about, like I think
even when
that
it's a good game, it's just like he can like take up a lot of airspace.
Yeah,
dude. All right, let the play breathe. Jesus.
especially because Jim Nance is the person working with him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's almost as if he's doing both gigs. Like he's like play by play
yeah,
and color. Like, all
yeah.
right, man, relax. But what's your
Week
week 13 matchup?
yeah, week 13, Thanksgiving, we go to AT&T Stadium and play the Cowboys. I think we're gonna lose. However, like we talked about, the Cowboys are primed for a everything that can go wrong will go wrong season. Shout out Stephen A. And nothing
Yes,
would
sir.
give me more satisfaction than the Giants going in there and beating them on Thanksgiving. I would be so happy. I don't think it's realistic as we stand today on May 23rd, but that would make me so happy. But I have them losing, going to 6-6
All right.
on the season, but losing on Thanksgiving, which is going to bum me out, but it'll be fine.
Okay, and for me, I'll just say for time's sake, I'll just say they go on a 4 game win streak after losing to the Ravens. I think they go 13-3 by the end of week 17. They
Hmm.
host the Panthers. They host the Steelers, which is 425. Don't know why. At the Commanders, and then they host the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys is just you're due for a split every year with
Hmm.
them. At the Commanders, self-explanatory. Hosting the Steelers, Justin Fields will most likely be starting that game week 15, and the Panthers are a dumpster fire. Sorry, Bryce Young.
I think they're going to be better than last year this year.
They'll
Like,
be. I can't. I don't think you can get any worse other than
yeah,
going to win.
exactly. But like also
They'll be
like
better, but they're not beating the
the I
Eagles.
think I think they have like the right GM and coach in place. The owner just needs to get the fuck out of the way, which is going to be
Yeah,
really hard for the guy with everything that we've seen from him because he has real rich white guy syndrome in his
the
veins.
superiority complex is
Yep.
just oozing out of them. Disgusting.
But
But then he
uh,
confront like a shop owner who's like
he
bad.
literally like threw his hat off his head.
Like, what is your net worth? You're above that.
Yeah,
You are
bro.
above that.
This
Like,
is
just
this is
sit
a
on your
guy.
PJ. Go
Yeah,
to the golf course and just relax, buddy. Like,
yeah.
why
So
are you
stupid.
confronting shop owners?
Yeah. I'll
And
speed.
you deserve the criticism.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
100%.
yeah, go ahead.
I'll speed run the next four too. Just Saints at Giants. I think we win that game. Once again, Saints are a good football team, but like stuck in the middle. I think we can beat them. Ravens at Giants, automatic L. I don't think we win that. Colts at Giants. I think we can win that game. Once again, basically another rookie quarterback. Like he has like a year of playbook and like off the field experience, but like, or I guess by that point he won't be like he'll have a lot of experience if he stays healthy, and I hope he does. But Anthony Richardson, I think we can beat the Colts. That puts our record at 9-7 going into the last game versus the Eagles.
All right. And I think that will be a loss for us because I hopefully believe that the Eagles will have the number one seed wrapped up, akin, ahead of myself, whatever. 13-3. It only took 12 wins to wrap up the one seed last year. I think it only take 13 games to wrap it up this year for the Eagles. So 13-3, the Giants will need that win to probably get into the playoffs. They're gonna play their starters. We'll be resting ours. You guys get it.
So
Damn, I think these.
I have us losing this game.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because
A
I don't
sweep?
have I don't have you guys I don't have you guys like coasting easy at this point, like play starter type energy. Similar to last year.
Hey, I mean,
But
that's
also, you want to talk about history and all that. We haven't won a game in Philadelphia in since the Obama administration and the beginning of the second term of the Obama administration. I think
now
one
that you say that, I want this to be a win because I want that streak to keep going.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah, yeah. I have us I have us finishing
I
9 and
don't think.
8. I have us finishing 9 and 8 and getting the 7 seed.
All right,
Because
I
what
have us
I did,
13-4.
there's like a playoff predictors website thing that you can like pick every matchup. So I just did that and like played that out. We would play San Francisco, who'd be the 2 seed and get our ass kicked. You know,
Okay, so who would be the one seed then?
the Green Bay Packers.
Fuck out of here. I
I
think they win
have,
the division.
I
I think they
have,
win the division. Everyone has Detroit going back to back. Not
I
so
don't think
fast.
that's gonna happen. I have
No,
the
I
Eagles
got the bracket
going.
from.
I have the Eagles going 12-5 and being the 3 seed.
By my standards, not good enough, but on paper, that's very good. You muted yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I have y'all 12-5, the 3 seed. I'm gonna try to pull it
That's
up to
cool.
see the. I didn't write it down, which I should have done, but I'm gonna try
I
to.
think the Packers are going to be really good though. I think they win the NFC North. They take it back.
Oh, for sure. I have you guys losing to the Niners in the divisional.
Yuck.
But wait, let me. You can edit this
Well,
part out.
I think you can assume what my playoff prediction would be.
Yeah.
You know me. You know me too well by now. I think it's just it feels right.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like having the year you did last year. I feel like the Eagles and the Phillies, not to bring them back up, but they're the same on the same trajectory right now because they both lost their respective championship round in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Now they both got back to the playoffs in 2023. Eagles, obviously, they went out in the first round. The Phillies kind of made a run again,
Mm-hmm.
but they went out in the most embarrassing fashion. The
Yeah.
Eagles went out in the most embarrassing fashion. So it's like you come back stronger 2024. You kind of just build on the last 2 years of relative success.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Phillies a little more so than the Eagles, but the Eagles started out 10-1 last year. They were a
Yeah.
Super Bowl contender. Jalen Hurts was the MVP favorite going into that San Francisco matchup. So it's like, both teams just have something to prove. They have a chip on their shoulder. And I think they, not to steal a quote from wrestling, but I think they both finish their respective stories and they get the job done. And they both win a championship. I think both teams, I mean, they certainly can do it. It will be it's wishful thinking on my part.
So, you
Listen,
know,
if I had to sit here and watch the Celtics win an NBA title,
no.
I will gladly watch the Celtics win an NBA title if it meant I got the Phillies and the Eagles parade.
I
I'll
hope you
take that trade.
get I hope you get a Phillies parade. The Eagles.
that'll be 1 out of 3 for you
Yeah.
because you hate the Celtics. I'm sorry, and I hate the Celtics. But
I don't think
basketball,
hey,
I gave that
and
up because
Anthony Edwards. And I think whichever team comes out of the West is gonna win.
even if it was the Mavericks against the Celtics,
Luca?
I feel like the Celtics are the most complete team.
I want the Timberwolves to beat the Mavs, sadly, even though I adore Luka Doncic.
And that's probably going to go 7 while the Celtics win in 5 and they can just sit back
So
and
here's
rest.
the thing. The Pacers should have won game
They
one. They were
should
the
have,
better
but
team.
they didn't.
But at the same time, they did a similar thing against New York game one. And I think the issue with the what the Celtics are gonna face with the Pacers is them motherfuckers are running up and down the court. Like they are staying true to their name. Like I don't know the exact stats off my name, but like they are a very fast paced team, which is not the Celtics game. And I think that'll get them in trouble. And like that's where like attrition and injuries and everything kick in.
If they can still game 2, then it'll go six
Are
and
they
seven.
playing tonight?
I believe so. Yes.
All right, let's Google this. Oh
Celtics are
no.
minus 400.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton out for the rest of the game.
Oh, what happened?
Leg soreness.
Damn. I
They're
thought they were just
down.
getting their asses beat, but
No, they're
if
down
he's out,
16.
yeah, man, it's over, man. That's going. I think they take a game in Indiana just because, but
If they win both in Indiana like they did against the Knicks, though,
I doubt it.
I doubt it. But like I just gotta hope that it happens because Celtics.
I mean, you want to talk cakewalk to the finals?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. Really quickly, going back to what we were my 5 losses for the Eagles, the Browns, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Ravens.
Cowboys on the road, right?
Yeah, like one of the
Okay.
Cowboys games,
Yeah.
and the fifth one, which I think you're gonna be like,
It's gonna
oh,
it's gonna piss me off because what?
the Jags.
All right, doesn't piss me off too bad. I thought you were gonna say like the Steelers or
No,
something.
no, 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 no. I think, and the Jags. I wasn't even thinking about the revenge game angle. I was more so
Could,
thinking that like Trevor
could they be a
Lawrence's
wild card team?
who. No, I have
Nine
them
and eight.
being. I have them being or the Jags.
Yeah,
All right, let's
because you
pull
know the
out.
Texans are gonna win that South division.
Oh, for sure. But once again, whenever we like right in a team to
It's
win.
like
It does.
Anthony Richardson is coming back, and
Oh,
the
I have
Colts
the
really
Jags going 8 and
improved.
9. I have the Jags going 8 and 9.
I would say 9-8, same ballpark.
Yeah, but like I feel like I wasn't even factoring in like the whole Doug Peterson coming back to Philly again dynamic and like having a 14-0 lead last time. I just think that
Yeah.
like Trevor needs to have a good season, and I think he will prove people wrong, and like that game would go a long way to
Look, it'll be a good game. It'll be
like
closer than
I
line would suggest.
I
I think
think if they if
the
they
spread will
figure
probably start at like 5.5 or something, and it'll be
like
closer.
last year, remember like they could have beaten the Chiefs, but they had like 5 touchdowns that they caught with like 1 foot out of bounds. And, like, they just kept doing stuff like that all season, then they somehow get the 1 seed and Trevor gets hurt. So,
The
I think
Chiefs just get
it's
away with a lot, and it pisses me off.
I mean, the Chiefs is the Chiefs. They're not they're
I'm
the
glad they. Look. I'm glad they stopped the 49ers. They prevented that. Fucking those assholes from winning a championship. But like
I
again,
think in my mind, the Chiefs are a more likable version of the Patriots.
are they though?
Okay. The last 10 days the last 10
Are they?
days the last 10 days notwithstanding and a certain kicker notwithstanding,
I'm not
because
even just talking that, because not even talking him or Rasheed Rice, just the whole just
I think
dynamic
they
with
are.
Taylor Swift. That I
I
think
think
that rubs people the wrong
I
way.
think Pat Mahomes is a lot more likable than Tom
That
Brady.
is true.
I think Travis Kelsey by himself is a very likable human being. Like
Yeah,
I don't think there's a reason to hate on him whatsoever, like him as a
I do
person.
think he's jumped the shark with a few people, just in terms of just his personality.
Yeah, like
But that's just like not that has nothing to do on the field though. He's
yeah.
one of the greatest.
And then
It's just off the field.
with the whole Taylor thing, and people are gonna be pissed about like 45 seconds of the broadcast, like they're just the people that yell at the air.
Yeah,
And like I'm sure
she's not going anywhere.
it's
Well,
it's
it'll
it's
be
a
more of that
little
next year.
it's a little overblown, sure, but like also So High School is a great song, so like
I,
it's like
I
whatever. And
I
then
don't listen
I
to
like
her.
and Andy. I have a 14-year-old sister. Like that's kind of just like kind of just like just happens. You just go along with it, so that you just go along with it. Some of the songs are good, but like, and then I think Andy Reid is just a really likable guy. Like there's no reason to not like him. Like it's not like he'll give you like he's not as grumpy as Bill.
Right.
He still doesn't give you much in press conferences, but it's just like demeanor is a little bit different than Bill.
No,
So
he's much more likable.
oh, for sure. I just think that they're a lot like they're a likable version of the Patriots. And I selfishly, as a Tom Brady isn't the GOAT fan club member or whatever, like make me like the poster child for that. Like I want Patrick Mahomes to win as many rings as he possibly can so we don't have to talk about Tom Brady that much.
See, I don't really care about that so much because we're in the spot now to where my quarterback is one of the upper of the league, and I don't want him to be, in a situation where it's like he's getting rings taken away. He's already had one taken away from him.
I think we're in a LeBron situation right now in
I
the
hope it's
in
not a Jordan situation
No, no,
where
no.
it's
I
just like
think it's a
he just
LeBron
vacuums
situation
every championship
in the
in a
sense
decade.
like a actually Jordan is a better analogy. Like I don't think Mahomes is letting people get them on him. Like literally the one team,
I
like
mean,
the one
Lamar
time.
Hunt trophies for sure. I mean,
I mean, oh, that entirely, but also they don't lose the
I
sleep.
need that entire conference to just
They
like
don't. That conference is insane. That conference is a lot more stacked than the NFC.
it was last year too. But it's like
Yeah,
okay, and the
like
Chiefs. I mean, they were limping into the playoffs. And
that's
they
what they'll
got it
do.
done again. Like,
That's what they'll do. That's what I meant by like the
damn it,
LeBron.
Ravens, you had it.
I
Even
mean,
The
like,
Bills
bro,
could have had it.
it's like LeBron in 2018. At some point, it's just inevitable that that team and that person is just gonna figure out a way to win a football game.
God,
They do it every time.
oh,
Like I
man,
feel like they spot people 10 to 14 points on purpose because they get bored and they
I
just
doubt
are
it, but yeah.
trying. I mean, probably not, but like they just like try shit. Like how
I
many?
don't want to take anything away from him because he's like he's got 3 rings now. But at least last season, it just feel like
Oh,
those other teams just lost those games more than the Chiefs won them.
that's what I'm saying. That's what happens. Like that's like the
Even
Jordan
in the
teams. That
Super
like
Bowl, like,
I feel like with like the all-time great players and teams, like it psychs you out. It psychs the other team out mentally to the point where like they start making mistakes and force things. And like
yeah,
you're reaching out on the goal line if you're Zay Flowers, you're a rookie because like you're trying to score because you know how important it is to score with Mahomes on the
right.
other side. So that
And
like
Lamar playing hero ball, throwing into triple
I
coverage in the
mean
end.
that whoever the offensive coordinator is, maybe even run the ball a little bit, but like you know Lamar, Josh
Todd Monken.
Allen, yeah, Lamar, Josh Allen, Herbert, who else is in the AFC? I guess Deshaun Watson if you want to put him in there. Barrow, if I haven't said him yet. Aaron Rodgers now. Tua.
Barkley, Malone. That's what it feels
It's
like, man. Just great
yeah,
players who may never win a title.
yeah.
Like
I think very few teams are like going to be good enough. Like you're gonna have to
Ewing.
win. It's gonna be when like in 2021 when they lose, like if the Bengals beat them. I feel like that's the one team that like has given them trouble. And
They
whenever
did lose to Tom that one time. Of course, it was to Tom though,
I
in that
that
defense.
that game should not be talked about because if he had
Look, it's
one.
in the record books. I don't care.
No, I
It
agree.
happened.
I agree.
But he
I
didn't have
agree.
an offensive line. He
If he
he was running
had
for
if he had two capable offensive linemen, they would have won that game.
he was running
And
for his life.
people will hold that against him. Like every Brady stan, um, will hold it against him. But like
That
that
defensive line won that Super Bowl more than
the
Tom.
the two playoff wins that Brady has over Mahomes, D4 jumped off sides to negate a Tom Brady pick in overtime, and Mahomes didn't have an offensive line. And they're gonna be like, "Oh, Brady has a 2-0 record against Mahomes."
And
I'm writing
Mahomes
his
can do nothing about that.
Yeah,
That's,
he's just
well, I mean, he can, but he
uh,
can't.
I mean,
Brady.
Brady has 7. Brady has 7. Mahomes just got to get 8 in the next decade, or Mahomes has to get 5 in the next decade, which isn't that doesn't seem that hard to do with how good that team is.
Selfishly, I hope not, because I need Jalen to get a couple.
I
I want to see Lamar get one too, just because the
there's
Eagles
a
can't win it every year, so like someone else has to. I like to see
I want
Lamar
to
get
see
one.
like I want to see Josh get one. I want to see Herbert get one. Like if Jalen Hurts was on another team, I'd want him to win a Super Bowl. But at the same time, it's like I'm never not betting on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
An easy pick, just to do that big three: Andy, Pat, Travis. You got those three,
And now the defense is stacked. Like they traded
and
away
the
Tyree.
Bills allowed them to draft Xavier
Okay,
Worthy.
okay.
Like, Jesus Christ.
I think Keon Coleman might be a better NFL player than.
Possibly, but it's just the speed. Like, it's just
I mean that like they were okay.
he just needs
Um,
competent hands and
Brandon Bean was talking about this on Pat Mac. It's like he like the teams between the Bills and the Chiefs weren't gonna pick Xavier Worthy anyway, so the Chiefs were gonna get him this way. The Bills just got draft capital. It looks bad, and if in a playoff game Xavier Worthy catches
I
a
think it
touchdown,
looks especially bad just because it's the Bills.
yeah, and they'll
It's
just
like they owned
everything,
you in the playoffs, and then you're just kind of just like, here you go. So it
no,
looks
like
terrible. Yeah,
the optics of it are bad, but like in reality, it was a smart football decision, in my opinion.
that's fair.
Keon Coleman is a
Wrong
hilarious
team.
individual.
He is. I love him.
I
He's
love him
already a
to death.
superstar.
Yeah, right. Phenomenal. All right, well, we good to
We
wrap up?
went, we went about an hour and a half. Yeah,
Yeah.
good cut
I'm
off
not gonna
time.
lie, voice is kind of dead.
Oh, I can't tell though.
I
You sound fine. You
thank you.
sound good.
Like just I'm barely. I got Brandon Ingram eyes right now. That's what it feels like. But yeah, man. Thank you for hopping on. I'm happy that we finally made it happen.
Oh, of course, and thank all of you for sticking around. If you stayed this long, you're a sicko. I just want you to know that,
Yeah,
and I love you for it.
yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And there'll be more content coming out soon.